In previous videos, I've already talked a lot about stress management, about the definition of stress, tips for reducing stress, and about the sources of stress. Now I'd like to cover the signs and symptoms of stress. Real quickly, the difference between signs and symptoms. Signs are things that a doctor or a psychologist would find by examining or observing you. Symptoms are things that you feel yourself. You would have to tell a doctor or psychologist about your symptoms if he or she was to find out about them. Now I've divided the signs and symptoms of stress into 3 different parts, unscientifically, just to help us make sense of them. For the sake of this discussion, let's just say that there are physical, mental and emotional, and relational signs and symptoms of stress. This time around, I'm just going to focus on the physical signs and symptoms of stress. We'll save the mental, emotional, and relational signs and symptoms of stress for a future video, because there's just too much to cover on the physical end of things. I cannot overemphasize how important it is to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. I failed to do this years ago when I was in the very stressful firefighting and emergency medical field. Now I've got a chronic illness and a lot of dietary restrictions to show for it. Now let's jump right into the physical signs and symptoms of stress. These are things that a doctor, a chiropractor, a physical therapist, or a nutritionist would discover and treat. First we'll cover the physical signs and symptoms of chronic stress. Now pay attention, you'll notice that these differ a little bit from the physical signs and symptoms of acute stress, which I'll cover next. In chronic stress, our body systems are suffering from a low level of disruption, which is exhausting. Sleep patterns start to suffer, the digestive system begins to malfunction, the immune system is weakened, and energy levels drop. Now everyone reacts differently from their unique stressors, so patterns of symptoms will vary from person to person. With chronic stress, physical symptoms may include fatigue or lack of energy, tension headaches, high blood pressure, back pain, chest pain, a lower sex drive, susceptibility to sickness like cold and flu, skin issues like hives, rash, and eczema, a significant weight loss or weight gain, changes in eating habits, overeating or not eating enough, sore muscles in the back, neck, and shoulders from ongoing tension, tooth grinding or jaw clenching at night, difficulty falling asleep and frequently disrupted sleep, digestive problems such as ulcers and irritable bowel. Now let's look at some physical signs and symptoms of acute stress. Now remember, acute stress is sometimes called traumatic stress. This is rapid onset and usually where your fight or flight response kicks in. Adrenaline is pumped into your bloodstream. Blood flow is diverted from your usual bodily functions to anything that has to do with running, fighting, or thinking. Awareness is heightened, the heart rate speeds up, the senses sharpen, strength increases, and physical and mental reaction times speed up as well. There's a whole lot happening there. So depending on the person and situation, the acute stress response may feel like a sudden burst of energy, a feeling of blood pounding in the head or ears, being able to feel your pulse in your limbs, goosebumps or hair standing up on end, a sudden numbness or a physical feeling that reminds you of intense fear or anger, sinking, fluttering, or other bad feelings in your stomach. And lastly, a spent, worn out feeling after the stressors come and gone. Now this is the body coming off of the adrenaline rush. My hope is that this video will help you avoid some of what I've gone through. We need to learn from one another's experiences so that we all don't have to learn our lessons the hard way. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.